It's not the fact that you don't want what you say you want bad enough. It's that your subconscious is literally protecting you from it. In this video, I'm going to teach you and show you why what you chase, what you want, is eluding you. So the problem is not that you haven't wanted it badly enough. You can want, just because you want something doesn't mean it's going to materialize in your life. You've got to find something that you want bad enough that you are going to transform who you are in order to get in harmony with it. You see, if you've been practicing, let's say, embodying and expressing the identity of someone who's broke or a poverty or scarcity identity, it doesn't matter how bad you want something, it's always going to elude you. Your subconscious is programmed to keep you where you are. So the problem is that the thing your subconscious is chasing is not the thing you said you wanted. You've programmed your subconscious, you program your identity to stay where you are. There's a man who says he wants more money. He has said it out loud. He has written it in journals. He has set the goal, built the plan, and executed against it for years. Money keeps not arriving. Or it arrives and then it leaves. Or it arrives and immediately brings with it the stress and conflict that makes him wonder why he wanted it in the first place. So, have you ever made a lot of money and then boom, all these ideas of how to get rid of the money came into your mind, and so you get rid of the money. And then if a bunch of ideas on what you want to buy, like, oh my, I'm going to go blow the money on garbage, then what could happen is you get a flat tire, the car needs work, you get a ticket, the money will leave. If you're not comfortable with it, and if your subconscious identity is not in alignment with the money, it will find a way out of your life. There's a man who says he wants love, real love, the kind that heals him. He has said this out loud too. He has pursued it. He has tried to build it with multiple people. It keeps not arriving, or it arrives and becomes the heartbreak, disharmony, or toxicity he swore he was done with. There is a man who says he wants control over his compulsive behavior, his compulsions. He has said this for years. He has tried every protocol. He runs clean for 2 weeks, sometimes 4. And then a craving arrives, and the man he was yesterday is gone, and the boy is back in the driver's seat, and he's watching himself fall again. So think about it. Do any of these stories resonate with you? Let's say you said you were going to quit something, quit smoking, quit drinking, quit eating junk food. You were going to quit something. Quit watching porn. Okay? Let's say you want something, like you want money or you want love or something of that nature. And then maybe the money, you get a bonus, you get an unexpected windfall of money, or you meet someone and then you sabotage it because you are operating at a subconscious level. You're operating counter to what you say you want. Each of these men believes he has a willpower problem, a strategy problem, a discipline problem. He does not. He has a definition problem. And until the definition is seen, understood, and rewritten at the level where it is installed, he will continue chasing the phantom, the version of the thing his conscious mind has defined, while his subconscious chases and materializes something entirely different. What follows is the diagnosis of that split and the 4 moves that close it. Part 1, the 2 definitions. The word is the same, the meaning underneath is not. Every man carries 2 definitions of every important word in his life. He carries a conscious definition, the one he would say out loud if asked, and he carries a subconscious definition, the one installed in him before he was old enough to consent to the installation, running silently underneath. When you say a word love, your conscious mind produces a definition that is clean and worthy. Presence, safety, fulfillment, being seen and known by another human being. Your subconscious mind produces a different definition, one assembled entirely from the emotionally intense experiences and observations you had surrounding love as a boy. If those experiences were disharmony, abandonment, unpredictability, or the silent withholding of a father who could not meet you emotionally, then your subconscious definition of love is not the conscious one. It is the installed one. So that's why it's so important in my work when I'm working with clients, so people in our school community, we've got a phenomenal onboarding questionnaire, and it talks about these things like you've got to get out of the conscious mind and you've got to go into your memory bank, because that's where your programs were installed. So what did you witness as a boy? Not just from your father, and how did your father express love or not express love, but also your mother. Because, oftentimes in the red pill space, or, we talk about daddy issues with women. And that's a perfect example is, when a girl grows up without a father, or a toxic father, she will often find men that leave her abandoned or that replay those same cycles in her life. Well, the same thing goes for you. Okay? Guys have daddy issues too, and mommy issues. Okay? So, again, is until you go in and you reprogram these definitions, these beliefs, these programs, nothing is going to change. Nothing changes until something changes at the subconscious level. When you say the word money, your conscious mind produces freedom, agency, abundance. Your subconscious mind produces whatever your father produced in the room whenever money was discussed. More than discussed, but also what you saw as an example. We learn more through example than we do by words. If that was stress, conflict, shame, or scarcity, your subconscious definition of money is the same. So that means pain. Money equals pain. So we all want money because you can't live a complete life if you don't have money. But if we grew up and we associated pain with money, meaning conflict, stress, shame, scarcity, fighting, then you're actually going to repel it. So we've got to reprogram those relationships, those definitions. When you say the word success or manhood or intimacy or peace, the same fracture is running. Two definitions, one conscious, one subconscious. And the one that determines what actually materializes in your life is never the one you consciously choose. Your subconscious mind does not adhere to logic. It adheres to emotional intensity. That is the only language it speaks. And it is speaking it whether you are aware of it or not. This is the mechanism most men have never been shown. They assume the word they are using and their word and the word their subconscious is using are the same word. They are not. One of them is running conscious execution strategy, the other running subconscious materialization. The second one wins every time. So, looking at this diagram here, the two definitions. The conscious definition, the word you say out loud, you want money because money means car, house, survival, food, gym membership, car insurance, taking girls out on dates. You want that. The one you planned your life around. logical, clean, worthy. Those are all worthy. Those are all valiant and worthy desire. Nothing wrong with that. Then you go out, you take action, or you might not take action. That might be a strategy as well. Self-sabotage, procrastinating, shiny object syndrome has zero materialization power. Your conscious mind has zero materialization power. What you think you want. The subconscious definition, what the word actually means to you. Installed before the age 12, emotional, associative, illogical, built from intense experience or observation, runs your actual life, has total materialization power. What you actually get. The two definitions, why the word you use and the word your subconscious uses are not the same word. But again, once you do the work and you go into your mind, you go into your memories, and then you take a look at, oh my gosh, here's what I learned about that, then you can go in and you can reprogram it. Part 2, how the definition was installed. Emotional intensity is the only language the subconscious understands. The subconscious mind does not form its definitions through logic. It forms them through emotional intensity. And emotional intensity has only two sources. Either you experienced something that was emotionally intense, or you observed something that was emotionally intense. That is the entire mechanism. There is nothing else. So if you did it, especially around money and relationships, okay, between men and women, you have your own relationship with your mother and your father. But if they had a relationship or not, and then especially around money, you learned through osmosis. You learned through being around it. Okay? When a boy experiences parents fighting over money, he not hears about it, experiences it, body present, nervous system flooded. The subconscious registers money in the emotional category of conflict. When a boy observes his father being absent, distracted, or working so hard that his presence was always promised but rarely delivered, the subconscious registers love in the emotional category of absence that pretends to be presence. The installation does not require consent. It does not require understanding. It does not even require the boy to be paying conscious attention. That one's key. Emotional intensity was present. The association was written. And once it is written, it runs. Especially remember, if every day we're playing the same 24-hour cycle, your dad goes to work, he works 12 hours, he comes home, he's upset, he's complaining about the bills, he's complaining about having not enough money, then he's not present, then him and your mom are fighting, and this happens every day, or it happens in a cycle. I remember for me, it was around, boom, whenever my dad would balance the checkbook, there'd be a fight. The subconscious does not form associations through logic. It forms them through emotional intensity, experienced or observed. And it forms them permanently unless deliberately overwritten. That's what we're doing here. This is why the same mechanism that installed your wealth identity or your compulsion pattern can be used to install a new one. The subconscious mind is not broken. It is not malfunctioning. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Materialize the emotional reality it was programmed with. The problem is never the mechanism. The problem is the program. So think about it like a robot. Okay, you are the robot. This is your biomechanical robot suit. Okay, and your subconscious is the programs that were programmed into you. You unconsciously allowed yourself to be programmed, and you still are. And then those are expressed through the body. And here's where most of the personal development industry fails the men who find it. The industry operates on conscious programming. Affirmations you have to believe, visualization you have to force, mindset work delivered to a mind that is already running an opposing program underneath. The installation was not done in beta. The installation was not done in beta brainwave state by a teacher explaining concepts. So we're talking about when you were a child. You were not in beta, you were in theta. It was done in theta, in the presence of emotional intensity. Again, repeated. While your analytical filter was not yet even formed. You weren't able to rationalize. You weren't able to, deduce what was going on. You were just experiencing. You were feeling the energy, literally. The only way to overwrite what was installed that way is to return to the same conditions, the theta brainwave state. Emotional intensity, deliberate now, instead of accidental then. That is the work. Everything else is an attempt to argue with a program in the language that the program does not speak. Again, you can write in your journal, you can create a vision board, you can do the affirmations, you can do all that work. But unless you're doing it in a certain way in which those programs are actually bypass the conscious mind and are actually installed in the subconscious mind, that's why so many people do not get results. Is because they're just working at the conscious level. Part 3, why you keep missing what you chase. The 2 ways your subconscious protects the installed definition. And also, remember, your subconscious, your programs, they're just there to protect you over anything. Remember, you learned, even though it was a mistake, it's like a typo in the code, you learned that money equals pain. Relationships equal pain. Women equal pain. Men equal pain. So your subconscious mind is just trying to protect you. When you get the money and you feel a certain way, that's just it's your default mode network saying we got to get rid of this money because money equals pain. Okay, once the subconscious has its definition of what you want, only 2 things happen. Only 2. Both are equally destructive to the conscious goal, and both operate entirely outside your awareness. The first failure mode is materialization of the subconscious definition. You ask for love, your subconscious delivers what it has defined love as: heartbreak, disharmony, toxicity, abandonment, conflict, fighting, pain. You ask for money. Your subconscious delivers what it has defined money as: stress, conflict, survival, scarcity. You ask for success. Your subconscious delivers what it has defined success as. And if your father modeled success as the thing that took him away from the family, that is what your success will cost you too. You are not failing to manifest. You are manifesting perfectly, just against a definition you never consciously chose. The second failure mode is avoidance of what is associated with the subconscious definition. This is key. If your subconscious has coded money as conflict, and conflict is painful, key word, the subconscious protects you from conflict by keeping money away. Every time it gets close, the subconscious reroutes. Sabotage that looks like bad luck. A deal that falls through for no clear reason. A sudden expense that consumes the windfall. A decision you cannot explain that kept you from closing. The subconscious is not betraying you. It is protecting you from pain. exactly as it was designed to do. And in doing so, protecting you from the thing you said you wanted. You've got a conflict there. You say you want the money, but the money equals pain. Either way, the conscious goal does not arrive. Either way, the man stays stuck and does not understand why. He attributes it to strategy failures, market conditions, the wrong partner, bad timing. The real cause is never visible. Remember, let's go back, is that one, you chose the strategy. You chose to get in the market at that time. You chose the partner. You chose the timing. You chose it. So at the end of the day, your choices are the result of your subconscious programming. See how it works? When you take radical responsibility for everything that happens in your life, then you can see how the subconscious unfolds. Because then you would say, oh my gosh, well, I did everything. Just like I laid it out for you right there. The real cause is never visible because the real cause is running at a level the conscious mind cannot see. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. You get the money, you win a lottery, you get a big bonus, you feel a certain feeling, like it's like a hot potato. Oh, I got to go buy a bunch of bullshit. I got to go buy a TV, a car. I got to go buy some rims for my car. I got to get rid of the money. You do not have a problem manifesting. You're manifesting perfectly. You're just manifesting against a definition you never consciously chose. So this diagram, the two failure modes, both protect the installed definition. Both cost you the conscious goal. Failure mode 1, the subconscious definition materializes. You ask for love, you get heartbreak. You ask for money, you get conflict. You ask for success, you get the cost your father paid. Looks like bad luck, bad partners, bad timing. Actually, the installed definition arriving right on schedule. You're getting exactly what you saw and what you defined that area of life as. You get the thing. It's just not what you want. Failure mode number 2. The subconscious avoids what it associated. So money keeps not arriving, protecting you from the conflict, protecting you from the pain. Let's put an umbrella term, pain. Relationships equal pain. Money equals pain. Losing weight equals pain. Eating healthy equals pain. Starting a business equals pain. Love keeps not landing. Protection from abandonment. Abandonment, pain, lots of pain. Success keeps slipping. Protection from the cost. Looks like self-sabotage you cannot explain. Actually, the subconscious is doing its job. If you take a bird's eye view, get out of your body and see, objectively how things are unfolding, you can see it's clear as day. Especially when you do the work of going back in time and looking at your upbringing. Because your upbringing is just repeating the cycle because you haven't learned the lesson. You do not get the thing. The subconscious calls that a win. It did win. It kept you safe. Part 4, reverse engineer the installed definition. So here's how we start changing it. Awareness first. That's why it's so important to write things down, to do the work. Okay, to go back in time, take a look at your life when you were a child, preteen, because that's when your identity, that's when your programming was installed. And to take a look at it. That's awareness. You can't reprogram until you find the typo or the virus in the program. Before a new definition can be installed, the old one must be seen clearly, without flinching. This is the work that most men skip because most men would rather keep changing or keep suppressing the phantom rather than admit that the phantom is what they have been chasing. The protocol is simple. It is not comfortable, but it is simple. And 8 out of 10 men will not do this work. The definition protocol. Pick the thing you have been chasing that has not arrived, or has arrived and not felt like what you wanted. Money, love, a specific kind of relationship, a specific level of freedom, a version of your body, a version of your work. Pick one. Write it down at the top of a page. Again, what do you want that you've wanted for quite some time that you just can't seem to create it in your life? Underneath it, write your conscious definition of it. What does it mean to you? What would you do with the money? Why do you want a woman in your life? Why do you want the things you say you want? That's your definition. What does it mean to you? What would you say if asked? What you believe you were chasing? 2 or 3 sentences is enough, but make them clear. Now, the harder question. What are the most emotionally intense experiences or observations you had surrounding this word as a boy? Not after age 18, not as an adult, before age 12, if you can go back that far. What did you watch happen? What did you experience happen to you? What was in the room? What was the tone? Silence, conflict, presence, or absence whenever this word came up. Write whatever comes. Do not edit it. Do not sanitize it. Do not downplay it. Do not neutralize it. You want to get clear. This is a virus. If you want to fix this once and for all, this is the work. Most people, this is going in and cleaning the skeletons out of your closet. This is the work most men avoid. Most people avoid. Do not perform the version that sounds good. The subconscious installed whatever was there. And whatever was there is what you need to see now. I would even suggest doing this, once a week. Go in, right? I've actually done autobiographies where I'll try to remember as much as I can from a specific year of my life and go through it, 1982, 1983, 1984. Try to write as much as you can, but especially around specific topics: money, relationship, love, health, food, so on and so forth. You cannot overwrite a definition you have not seen yet. The seeing is half the work. The other half is installation. A warning worth repeating. This exercise is not an invitation to become addicted to the excavation. Some men, once they discover this mechanism, spend years mining their subconscious for more blocks to break. That is its own avoidance. The point of the seeing is not to admire the wound. The point of the seeing is to aim the installation. Again, we want to clean out our closet. We want to neutralize. These are still running. These programs, these memories are still running very deep in the recesses of your subconscious. We want to go in, we want to neutralize them, we want to reprogram them, and we want to let go of them. And that's what we really dive deeper into in our school community. So if you'd like to learn more about that, check it out. Link is in the description below. Once the old definition is visible, the next question is the only one that matters. What is the new definition? Not the aspirational version, not the affirmation, the specific emotional and energetic reality you want this word to point to going forward. That definition is what gets installed in theta in the morning window and the nightly window. 30 minutes a day until the subconscious is running the new one and materializing accordingly. And again, if you'd like to check out the subconscious identity reprogramming technology that I created, it's at masculine-identity.com. Again, the link is in the description. You listen to these audios that I've formulated. These are the most advanced subconscious identity reprogramming technology on the market today. So they've been scientifically created using hypnosis and NLP patterns, scripts, along with precise brainwave technology to help you get in and stay in the theta brain waves, brain frequency, and install these new ideas. Okay? That is not awareness work. That is installation work, and it is the only work that produces permanent change. Again, we have to bypass the conscious mind, and we have to install new ideas into the subconscious mind around the topics: money, health, women or relationships. Okay, part 5, the work. This is where it begins, not where it ends. These 4 moves are not a checklist to be completed. They are a practice that deepens over time. A man does not see his subconscious definition once and call himself free. He builds the capacity to catch the definition earlier, in the craving, in the sabotage, in the moment just before the familiar outcome arrives, and to return to the installation work faster. So again, as you start doing this work, you're going to actually start seeing where your unconscious programming starts popping up. And the better you get at it, you will not react to it. You will see the programming, and instead of taking a left, you'll take a right. And when you take that right, everything changes. But again, this is a process. There's no such thing as a silver bullet. There's no such thing as, boom, just instantly and automatically reprogramming yourself. Okay? Things take time. You can certainly shift in a moment, and you'll have moments where you shift and things will radically transform in your life. But that the old programming's still there. It's going to try to creep up. You cannot avoid the work. You have to do the work of going back into your memory, opening up the closets, cleaning up the skeletons, neutralizing them, letting them go and healing, and then reprogramming, reinstalling. Okay? He does not reverse engineer one word once and move on. He returns to the exercise with each new domain of his life as it reveals itself. Money was one, then love, then success, then the relationship with his own body, then the relationship with his children. Each one carries its own installed definition. Each one can be seen and then overwritten. You've got to understand 95% of your actions and decisions are subconscious programming. Okay, that's why I'm not so much sold on the idea of free will, because how can you really prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that your thoughts are your thoughts? Because your thoughts precede any and all action. So how can you prove that your thoughts are your thoughts? And you did 95% of the actions that you took today are the same actions that you took yesterday. You're just repeating a pattern. So what we've got to do is you've got to go in and you've got to start creating a new pattern and start practicing a new pattern, a new program, a new identity until it becomes unconscious. You just do it automatically, just like you're doing everything now automatically. You either brush your teeth in the morning or you don't. You make your bed in the morning or you don't. You eat breakfast in the morning or you don't. You drink coffee in the morning or you don't. You do things and you don't do things every single day. And all of those decisions are producing the results you're getting in your life. If you don't like the results you're getting in your life, if you want different results and you've been trying, you've been wishing and hoping and praying for your heart's desires, yet they continue to elude you, then you've got to go to the cause. And the cause is your programming. And programming does not happen in an instant. You can certainly make shifts, and big shifts at that, but you've got to have repetition in there. You've got to do the reps. Okay? He does not install a new definition once and hold it forever. He doesn't go from I'm broke. Okay, the subconscious idea is I'm broke. The identity in the subconscious is a broke man, and say I'm rich, and then all of a sudden it changes. No, you've got years, sometimes decades of repeated experience and evidence reinforcing the idea that you're broke. It's going to take some time to believe with certainty that you're rich, that you deserve to be rich. Because if you don't deserve to be rich, you'll get the money, you'll blow the money. Okay? So he runs the morning track and the nightly track in theta until the new definition is the one the subconscious is using by default. That is the 30-day arc. That is the practice. And the practice does not end, it matures. I have a saying that life is like a mountain with no peak. The key is to just get used to climbing. There is no finish line. You're never going to get to the end. The game is always playing. Once you make $1 million, you're going to want to get to 10. Once you get to 10, you're going to want to get to 100. It's not about the money. It's about growth. It's about progression. It's about evolution. You're playing a game. This is what separates the man who experiences a shift for 3 weeks and then reverts. Like I said, you can have a shift. You can make a major shift and you can see instant results. But then often what happens is they take their foot off the brake, the old programming comes back in, and boom, you're right back to the status quo. From the man who installs permanently and never goes back. The first man did awareness work. The second man did installation work. They're not the same. Big key. When you go to a seminar, you become aware of things and you make shifts at the seminar. And that's why people, when they leave the seminar, they're on this high. They've gone out. They've learned new things. Their awareness has increased. And then they go back to their old environment, their old relationships, their old life. And boom, they just create the same old results. Okay? The phantom you've been chasing is not a phantom because the thing you want is not real. It is a phantom because the definition your subconscious has been using is not the one you consciously chose. Rewrite the definition at the level where it was installed. The thing you have been chasing arrives. Again, once you install, you rewrite the code that's operating your entire life, then it's like magic. I'm telling you, you will, instead of taking a left like you always do, you'll take a right. And then when you take that right, that's when miracles happen. It's absolutely incredible. It's why I do this work. Not only to see those things happen in my life, but I've seen it happen in so many people's lives. So continue the work with me. Everything in this lesson points to one truth. This work cannot be done alone. It cannot be done at the surface. It requires depth, consistency, and the right environment. Join us. I've got a free school community, completely free, tons of value. Check it out, school.com/01man. The link is in the description. And if you'd like to check out my subconscious identity reprogramming technology, phenomenal, groundbreaking technology like nothing on the market today. Check it out, masculine-identity.com. The link is in the description. That is it for this video. The phantom you're chasing. Remember, nothing in your life will change until you change at the subconscious level. Once you make changes at that subconscious level by doing the deep work, your life will change like magic. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.